everybody, Melissa and Sisi here. Today we are crafting away and we are going to make
Scrunchies.
Scrunchies. Can you believe these things are back in style? Never in a million years did I think I would see the day where scrunchies are back in style. But the kids are loving them and we have a little dancer in the family and it's just a fun project. Sisi, why did you want to make these?
I wanted to make them because my friends, we mail letters to each other now. And I wanted to do gifts, so we thought that would be a great little thing to slip in a little envelope with some note.
Perfect idea. All you need is some fabric. Cotton fabric works best, something with a little stretch to it. See how if I can just, there's a little give on your fabric? And if you just wash your fabric beforehand, that's great. But really, anything you probably have at home will work. You will only need a couple of things for this project, but something that's really helpful is to have a sewing machine and your ironing board set up by a table so that you have everything that you need right in front of you. So let's get started. Here's what you'll need. A cutting mat and a ruler if yours doesn't have numbers on it. Some fabric, some scissors or some round scissors, some pins, and some 1/4 inch elastic. We're also using an erasable pen because we can mark the fabric and then it disappears after. The first step in making your scrunchie is to choose a fabric. You will need a fabric that is 21 inches long and somewhere between 3.5 to 4 inches wide. So we're going to cut this fabric down to a size like this. To do that, I've folded my fabric in half. So now it measures 11 inches in length because it's folded in half. It was 21, so just simply fold it in half and use a ruler or guide like this to mark off how wide you want your scrunchie to be. Keep in mind we'll be using a 1/4 inch seam, so you will lose a little bit of the width of your scrunchie. Now mark your fabric. I'm using an invisible ink pen so that it will disappear later. On both ends, maybe in the middle, to make cutting easier. Now I'm going to cut my fabric. And you'll end up, you unfold your fabric with a piece of fabric that's 21 inches long by 3.5 to 4 inches wide, depending on what you decided. So take your strip of fabric and fold it into itself and pin it along here. So now that you've folded your fabric in half and pinned it, on one end, fold it down about 1/2 inch and pin that in place. Now sew a line here with your sewing machine using a 1/4 inch seam to turn this into an inside out tube. So there you go, we just sewed a tube. And don't worry if your seam's a bit messy, it's really a forgiving craft. The next step is to take a safety pin. Good job, Sisi. And just put it into where you have your folded over seam and fasten it. Now we're going to turn this tube right side out again. So you're going to use your pin as a little tool, put it inside, and you're going to shimmy the safety pin through your tube. And this is where I was saying it does make it easier if you have a little bit of a forgiving fabric. So something with just a tiny bit of stretch that's not too thick. And then you just slowly shimmy the pin up and pull the fabric over. So then I like to just press my seam. Now we need to cut our elastic. We found a good length is 9 inches. So cut 9 inches of 1/4 inch elastic. It really doesn't matter what color your elastic is. We're making 2 scrunchies, so we'll cut 2 right now. Because you won't see this elastic, I take my 9-inch elastic and a safety pin. I feed the safety pin through the end of the elastic, like this. Now, same as before, you're going to feed your safety pin through the scrunchie, through the tube. Just make sure you don't let go of this end. And this is what's going to give our scrunchie its scrunchiest shape. Okay, once you get your pin through, hold the elastic on both ends. Take the safety pin off of your elastic. How's yours doing, Sisi?
Good.
And then you'll have 2 ends that look like this. Put both ends together and just tie a little knot. Tucking them both under, like that. And then pull your knot fairly close to the end. Then hide the knot by pulling the elastic through the scrunchie a little bit. It doesn't matter which way you go. You just don't want that knot in the way for your seam. Look, we almost have a scrunchie. So at this stage, your scrunchie should look like this. So now you're going to take your finished end that we sewed the seam on, and you're going to stick the unfinished end of the tube inside the finished end, and that just covers up any of the unfinished fabric. Just stick that in there. You can stick a little pin here, and you're just going to sew a little seam there. And that's it. Pretty soon, you guys will be scrunchie making machines like we are. Again?
Yeah. How many can we fit on my
Let's
hair?
see, how many can we fit in Sisi's hair? Ooh, that's a lot.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. Woo!
Bye.